The most bizarre sexual practices of medieval peasants. Bedtime stories history. Hello guys, today we will know about a quiet corner of the past. A slow and gentle telling meant to help you rest. Meant to let your thoughts soften and drift. As the night grows calm and still. Tonight, we travel far back in time. To a medieval town in the north of England. The city of York. In the middle years of the 14th century. When stone walls held the town close. And life moved slowly, day after day. This story is told softly. Without haste. Without sharp turns. So the mind may relax. And the body may grow heavy with sleep. There is a small quiet mystery here. Nothing loud. Nothing bright. Only the gentle strangeness of old customs. Half remembered. Half forgotten. The night air in York is cool and damp. Mist rests low along the narrow streets. Cobbled stones glisten faintly. As if washed by breath rather than rain. A single oil lamp burns at a corner. Its light weak and trembling. Shadows stretching long and thin. The city sleeps unevenly. Some houses are dark. Others glow faintly from hearth fires. Behind thick wooden doors. Families rest in cramped rooms. Walls of timber and plaster holding in warmth. And holding in quiet lives. Homes here are small. Often one room below. One above. The lower room holds the hearth. Smoke drifting upward through a hole in the roof. The air smells of soot. Of damp wood. Of boiled grain. Beds are straw-filled sacks. Shared by parents and children alike. The people of York are ordinary folk. Weavers. Tanners. Bakers. Laborers. Women who brew ale. Men who haul carts. No one speaks loudly at night. Voices are low. As if the walls themselves listen. By day, the streets are crowded. By night, they belong to silence. Only the sound of a cart will sometimes creaks. Or a horse shifts its weight. Or a watchman taps his staff upon the stones. Steady. Slow. Unchanging. Daily life begins early. Before sunrise. The town stirs. Hearth fires are coaxed back to life. Women knead dough with practiced hands. Children fetch water from the well. Their feet bare or wrapped in rough cloth. Faces still half asleep. Breakfast is simple. A heel of bread. Thin porridge. Perhaps a bit of cheese. Meat is rare. Saved for feast days. Vegetables come from small plots. Cabbage. Onions. Leeks. Food is plain. But filling enough. Clothing is worn and mended. Wool tunics. Simple gowns. Patched again and again. Colors are dull. Brown. Gray. Faded green. Shoes are stiff leather. Often passed down. Work fills the long hours. Men labor at looms. In workshops that smell of dye and sweat. Others clean streets. Carry refuse beyond the walls. Women scrub clothes in cold water. Or sell small goods at market stalls. Hands rough. Movement steady. The market square is the heart of the town. By midday it hums softly. Not loudly. Just a low murmur of trade. Carts drawn by horses or oxen. Baskets of grain. Bundles of wool. Fish laid out on wooden boards. Children weave between adults. Carrying messages. Minding younger ones. Some attend charity schools run by the church. Learning letters slowly. Others never do. They learn by watching. By helping. By repeating what their parents do. Life is shaped by the church bell. It marks the hours. Calls people to prayer. To work. To rest. Church teachings guide much of daily life, including how people think about marriage, family, and the quiet mysteries of the body. Among medieval peasants, there is little private talk of such matters. Words are careful, often wrapped in silence. What is known is learned through custom, through older women, through whispered advice before marriage. Marriage is practical. It joins households, shares labor, secures land. Affection may grow, or it may not. Either way, life continues. Children are expected and welcomed, for they are hands for the future. Beliefs around fertility are simple and sometimes strange. People trust in God, but also in old habits. Certain days are thought lucky, others best avoided. Phases of the moon are watched, as if it listens in return. Some couples keep small charms, bits of cloth, dried herbs, worn close beneath clothing. Not spoken of openly, but carried quietly. Passed from mother to daughter, from aunt to niece. Custom layered upon custom. Bathing is rare. Water is cold. And illness feared. Yet before weddings, a careful washing may be done, as a sign of new beginnings. Hair combed. Clean garments worn. Small rituals. Softly observed. Privacy is scarce. Families share space. Neighbors hear through thin walls. Life unfolds in close quarters. This closeness shapes behavior. Encourages modesty. Encourages silence. Encourages routine. Stories circulate quietly. Half-remembered tales. Of saints. Of miracles. Of punishments. They guide behavior. Warn against excess. Praise restraint. Balance is valued. Work resumes each afternoon. The rhythm of tools. The shuffle of feet. The sun moves slowly west. Shadows lengthen. Voices grow tired. Hunger returns. As evening approaches. Supper is much like breakfast. Bread again. Pottage again. Perhaps a scrap of salted meat. Shared carefully. Nothing wasted. Children eat first. Then adults. By the dim light of the hearth. As darkness settles. The town draws inward. Doors are barred. Animals are fed. The last prayers are spoken. Families gather close. The day's work rests behind them. Tomorrow waits quietly. In these evening hours, older women sometimes speak. Softly. To younger ones. Of marriage duties. Of expectations. Not with detail. But with warnings. And reassurances. The body is understood simply. As part of God's design. Not examined. Not questioned deeply. Only accepted. As seasons are accepted. As birth and death are accepted. As work and rest are accepted. What may seem strange now felt ordinary then. Beliefs grew from fear. From hope. From lack of knowledge. From trust in tradition. No one rushed to change them. Time moved slowly. Outside. The streets are nearly empty. Fog curls around doorways. A watchman pauses. Listens. Moves on. His footsteps fade. Inside. Breathing grows steady. Children sleep first. Curled together. Adults follow. Muscles aching. Minds quiet. The hearth fire dims. Embers glowing softly. The city rests. As it has rested for centuries. Lives unfolding without record. Without names remembered. Yet they were real. They breathed. Worked. Loved in their own quiet ways. The night deepens. Thoughts slow. The past drifts like mist. Soft. Distant. Unhurried. And so we remain here. In this gentle darkness. Among ordinary people. In an ordinary town. As sleep comes. Slowly. Kindly. Without need for ending. The night continues. Quietly. Without haste. We remain in York. Within its stone embrace. Where the past moves slowly. And nothing is hurried. As sleep deepens. The mind wanders gently. Back into the rhythms of medieval life. Into habits shaped by faith. By labor. By silence. In these centuries. Knowledge passes mouth to ear. Not through books. But through memory. Through repetition. Through careful watching. People know what they have seen. What their elders have told them. And little more. Custom holds great power. Stronger than written law. Stronger than reason. Custom tells people when to plant. When to marry. When to rest. And when to abstain. The church calendar guides much of life. Certain days are holy. Set apart. Days of fasting. Days of prayer. Days when the body must be quiet. And the spirit kept attentive. Married couples know these rules well. They follow them not with question. But with habit. The body is seen as obedient. To God. To the seasons. To authority. Some days are thought unsafe. Not because of law. But because of old belief. Times when illness is said to follow. Or when children conceived may be weak. These ideas linger softly. Rarely spoken aloud. Women carry much of this knowledge. They remember what their mothers said. And their mothers before them. Advice shared while spinning wool. Or kneading dough. Or sitting by the fire. Men listen quietly. Or pretend not to hear. Their understanding is shaped by work. By exhaustion. By duty. Life leaves little space for curiosity. Children sense these customs. Without understanding them. They feel when voices lower. When words stop suddenly. When topics turn away. Silence teaches them as much as speech. Marriage beds are simple. Wooden frames. Ropes woven tight. Straw mattresses. They creak softly with movement. In rooms shared with others. Privacy is imagined more than real. Because of this closeness. Behavior is restrained. Moments are brief. Quiet. Careful. No candles burned longer than needed. No sounds meant to carry. Fertility is a concern always present. Too many mouths bring hunger. Too few bring fear of loneliness. Balance is hoped for. Never planned. Only prayed for. Some believe certain foods strengthen the body. Others weaken it. Ale is taken in moderation. Bread always. Herbs sometimes. More faith is placed in prayer than diet. Illness is common. Childbirth dangerous. Loss familiar. This shapes how people think of intimacy. Not as pleasure. But as duty. As risk. As continuation of family. Yet affection exists. Quietly. In shared labor. In shared fatigue. In shared endurance. Hands brushing. Glances exchanged. Nothing more needs saying. The city sounds are distant now. Only the wind moves. Through narrow lanes. Past shuttered windows. Past sleeping doors. The river ooze flows steadily. Unchanged. Time here feels thick. Slow. Layered. Each night like the last. Each morning familiar. Repetition brings comfort. Even hardship becomes known. In these homes. Life does not seek novelty. It seeks survival. Warmth. Bread. Peace with neighbors. Favor with God. The body is part of this order. Neither celebrated nor explored. Simply used. As hands are used. As feet are used. As breath is used. Stories of excess are warnings. Not invitations. Tales of sinners told from pulpits. Meant to instruct. To restrain. To keep the town steady. Confession offers relief. Words spoken softly behind screens. The priest listens. Offers penance. Life resumes its path. Unbroken. Outside the walls. Fields stretch into darkness. Peasants sleep near their animals. Sharing warmth. Listening to night sounds. Owls. Wind in grass. Distant bells. Here too. Custom rules. Rural life mirrors the town. But slower. More bound to land. More bound to weather. The moon rises. Watched carefully by some. Ignored by others. Its phases whispered about. Associated with planting. With birth. With fortune. Such beliefs are not written. They drift. They change shape. They persist because they comfort. Because they explain what cannot be known. As the night deepens further. Thoughts soften. Edges blur. The past becomes gentle. Less strange. More human. People then were not so different. They worried. They hoped. They endured. Their customs grew from need. Not from curiosity. The watchman passes again. His steps slower now. Near dawn. He yawns. Wraps his cloak tighter. Cold settles deeper before light. Inside homes. Sleep is heavy. Dreams simple. Of work undone. Of meals. Of fields. Of bells ringing. Soon. Very soon. The sky will pale. Another day will begin. As it always does. Without question. But for now. We remain in the quiet. In the slow breathing of history. In the dim spaces between thoughts. There is nothing more to learn tonight. Only to rest. And drift. And let the past fade softly. As sleep takes hold. The night lingers. Unwilling to release its hold. And we remain within it. Moving slowly. As if time itself has grown tired. The houses of York are still. Their timbers creak softly. Settling with the cold. A dog shifts near a doorway. Then rests again. Breath fogs the air inside dark rooms. In these quiet hours. Custom rests alongside sleep. Unquestioned. Unchallenged. Passed on simply by being lived. The people do not name their ways as strange. They are only the way things are. Morning will come soon. It always does. And with it, the steady return of duty. The past is not dramatic here. It is patient. It waits. Women rise first. Pulling shawls close. Stirring embers back to flame. The smell of smoke returns. Familiar. Unchanging. Children turn in their sleep. Reluctant to wake. Men follow. Stretching sore limbs. Pulling on wool and leather. Belts worn thin. Tools gathered without thought. The body is ready because it must be. There is little talk at dawn. Only glances. Small nods. The day is known already. Each task set by habit. Not by choice. In this world. Knowledge of the body is not separate from work. Strength is valued. Endurance praised. Silence respected. Excess distrusted. The church bells sound again. Low. Measured. Calling the town back to movement. The sound carries through fog. Through narrow streets. Into fields beyond the walls. As people gather themselves. Custom follows. Shaping behavior without command. Married life unfolds within these boundaries. Quietly. Almost invisibly. What happens behind closed doors is guided. By teaching. By fear. By hope. Not by exploration. But by repetition. There is little language for pleasure. Much language for duty. For sin. For obedience. Words shape thought. And thought shapes action. The body is seen as something to manage. Not something to celebrate. It is fed. Worked. Rested. And corrected when it strays. Old beliefs linger like smoke. Difficult to see. But always present. Some say certain acts weaken the soul. Others say they weaken the body. Few ask why. Women carry the weight of consequence. Their bodies change. Bear children. Heal slowly. They are watched. Advised. Sometimes blamed. Often pitied. Men carry responsibility differently. Through labor. Through provision. Through prayer. They are taught restraint. Though not always taught understanding. Children observe all of this. Learning without instruction. Absorbing tone. Gesture. Silence. They know when not to ask. They know when to look away. Life continues without pause. Markets fill again. Bread is baked. Ale is poured. Hands exchange coins worn smooth. The rhythm is steady. Reassuring in its sameness. No one seeks novelty. Survival leaves little space for it. Custom becomes comfort. Even when it limits. Even when it confuses. The strange to us was ordinary to them. Not questioned. Not examined. Simply lived. Day after day. As evening comes once more. The same pattern returns. Work slows. Light fades. Meals are shared. Quiet settles. Stories are told softly. Not of desire. But of saints. Of weather. Of neighbors. Of small worries. And small hopes. The past does not explain itself. It does not justify. It only exists. Layered in habit. And carried forward by those who knew nothing else. Night deepens again. The watchman walks his path. The river moves in darkness. Sleep returns to the town. And we remain only as listeners. Drifting gently. Through the slow breath of history. Letting thought loosen. Letting the weight of time grow soft. There is no ending needed here. Only rest. And the quiet understanding. That ordinary lives. Lived long ago. Still echo softly. As the mind fades into sleep. The darkness remains gentle. Unbroken. Like a soft cloth laid over the town. York breathes slowly now. As if the stones themselves have grown tired. Windows are dark. Chimneys cool. Only a few embers glow. Patient. Quiet. In this hour. The past feels close. Not sharp. Not loud. Just present. Like a steady pulse beneath the silence. Lives here are shaped by repetition. By the same paths walked each day. The same doors opened. The same tools lifted. Change comes slowly. Often unnoticed. The people do not think of themselves as part of history. They think only of tomorrow's work. Tomorrow's weather. Tomorrow's bread. History happens quietly. While they sleep. Customs around marriage and family settle deeply. They are not debated. They are absorbed. Like the smell of smoke in wool. Lingering. Unquestioned. The church stands at the center of it all. Its stone walls steady. Candles burning even now. A reminder of order. Of watchfulness. Of rules meant to protect the soul. Teachings are simple. Repeated often. Do this. Do not do that. Obedience brings peace. Disobedience brings worry. Few wish to carry worry. Confession clears the mind. At least for a while. Words spoken softly. Then released. The burden lightened. Until it returns. As burdens do. There is little space for private thought. Life is shared too closely. Rooms are crowded. Work is communal. Even silence is shared. Because of this, people grow skilled at hiding feelings, at keeping thoughts inward, at showing only what is required. This restraint shapes every part of life. The body is treated the same way. Covered. Managed. Rarely discussed. Its needs acknowledged only as necessary. Never as a subject of wonder. Old sayings pass quietly. From mouth to ear. Half remembered. Half believed. They offer explanation where none is found. Comfort where fear lives. Some customs fade slowly. Others remain. Held in place by habit. Not by force. But by familiarity. The young inherit them without choice. Just as they inherit names. And tools. And fields. And debts. As night stretches on. Dreams move through the town. Simple dreams. Of warmth. Of food. Of safety. Of a day without trouble. Outside the walls. The fields lie dark. Earth resting. Waiting for the next season. As it always has. Time here does not rush. It circles. Returning again and again. Morning. Work. Evening. Rest. And so it has been. For generations. Ordinary lives. Living within limits. Finding comfort in routine. Meaning in endurance. The past does not judge itself. It does not explain. It simply unfolds. Moment by moment. Breath by breath. As we remain here. Listening. The weight of the day eases. Thoughts loosen. The mind grows still. There is nothing more demanded. Nothing more expected. Only rest. And the gentle fading of awareness. The town sleeps. The past sleeps. And slowly. So do you.